Hello, hi viewers. I am Dr. Elizabeth Varshapal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I have with me a special guest. He's a research scholar at IIM Trichy. You still want to know more? Let's ask him. So, thank you for your time. Hi. So, can you just give us a small brief about yourself?
Yeah, hi Varsha. I'm very happy to be here in your platform, and it's a very good opportunity to talk to you and all. So I the and, so as you know that I am Aniket Sachan. So I'm in the third year of PhD. So I'm the PhD candidate in the area of information systems and analytics here at Indian Institute of Management, Tiruchirappalli, IIM Trichy. So just a little bit about my academic pursuit. So before joining IIMTC as a PhD candidate or PhD student, I was at IIT Jodhpur. I was doing my Master of Science in the computational social science. Um, and so I have graduated in 2024, and that was the basic academic pursuits. And also, I have before coming uh, before joining IIT as a MS scholar or MS student, I have received my bachelor's from Chhatrapati Savaji Maharaj University of Kanpur in the political science and geography. So that is overall area. And after this, so apart from these degree programs, I have also worked at IIT Guwahati as my summer research internships during my MS program. So this is my basic educational pursuits.
So, I wanted to ask you the first question was like you got into an IIM and you had various experience, like say from IIT Jodhpur and moving to 9 3. So what generally the audience generally since it's a podcast and the YouTube channel is for researchers for especially for early researchers to understand how to get into an IIM program. What qualifying exams do generally IIMs have, and what did you qualify to get into an IIM?
Yeah, so joining IIM as was my first priority to get into an IIM just because of the various reasons which IIMs offers for their PhD or doctoral students. So to get into an IIM, there are a lot of criteria you have to qualify first. I mean, again, depends upon which area you are going up to apply. So let's say I am the PhD candidate in the area of information systems and analytics. So for that, each as individual IIM have their own criteria. So IIM Tirchi also have like either you have a gate score or cat score. So whatever it is written in every IIM's websites. But generally, you have some national level exam. It's required like either CAT or GATE or this GRE or GMAT. So I have qualified CAT for the PhD program. I also had UGC NET, and I also paid in GATE exam. I mean, but I got call from a lot of IIMs like IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Calcutta, IIM Lucknow and Indore and Trichy, Vizag, and Udaipur. So all these places, even Raipur. So after all these things, apart from this, I also converted most of them. So Trichy, Raipur, and IIT Kharagpur, IIT Madras, and I am Raipur. These places I have converted, and they have been offered for the PhD admissions. So these are the criteria. So basically, you have to go to each and individual website. You understand what are the requirements. So first, if you are coming from the 4 year degree program like BTech or MBBS, then it is enough. If you are coming from 3 years like BCom or BA, BSc, then you have to have a master's degree, and there is some percent required based on the category of the student.
I have again a tricky question for you. Since you said
Yeah.
you've been called for so many other institutes like other IIMs, why IIM Trichy?
Yeah, that was very interesting questions, and I'm very lucky to be part of IIM Trichy. See, so each IIM have their own their vision and mission, and also the so basically research driven by the faculty members of IIM Trichy. What kind of research is happening at each and every institute? So for a PhD candidate who is going to join a for research and who is planning to aspire for a PhD, most basically we look for the area of expertise for the who faculty members of the that institute. So joining IIM Trichy was completely a pragmatic decision, though I was having a lot of top offers like IIT Madras and Kharagpur. These are NIRF if you look into. So IIT Madras is the number one in NIRF in the technology and engineering area. Joining IIM Trichy is two, three reasons. First reason is definitely the faculty expertise and which I wanted to work. And second is the what kind of methodology they use in the research. So it was much more aligned apart from the topics and areas. Third is the, I mean, again, so I was in IIT and I had a lot of discussion with my current supervisor of MS supervisor and advisor of advisory committee over there. Also, I spoke with current student who are there in IIM Trichy, they are working with some of the faculty members in the IS area. So these things little inspired me to join IIM Trichy, and this was the major decision. I mean, apart from other, there are some other factors which also played role to join Trichy.
Okay, so you mentioned about methodology, right? So just
Yes.
now, so what interesting methodology does like IMC? Have you seen like faculty publishing papers were inspired by it, or the fellow research scholars or your seniors? So what actually you said since you mentioned methodology, I'm just
Yeah.
intrigued by the word, and I also want the audience also to know about it. So what are your thoughts about it?
True, true. See, so methodology, like, so in the research, we say that there is a two things. First is the rigor, second is relevance. If your research is rigorous in terms of methodology, theory, or the context, everything is very rigorous, and also it should be relevant to the industry and practitioners. However, both simultaneously cannot be achieved. It can be achieved, but it's not necessary to achieve both. People say that it's the researcher job is to contribute to the body of knowledge, whatever the new knowledge comes, and if it is also helpful for the industry people, that is much better. That is in Hindi, it's called Sone Mein Suhaga. So, uh, for me, like to go in the rigorous side, the methodology is one of the major aspects. So I am Tichi, some of the faculty members are using since now these days the abundance of big data, all these things are happening. So if you go with very traditional mono method technique, that is not sufficient to get the true insights. So there are, as you know, research is basically driven by two things. First, this would be the rigorous and is also relevant for the industry practitioners. So if you go with the rigorous side, there's a methodology, theoretical framework, and all these contexts also getting much more important. So I also wanted to see what kind of methods are you have been used at IIMTHI. So I've seen that faculty at IIMTHI is publishing in top tier journals with methods like machine learning based techniques and apart from NISA and apart from machine learning based techniques, some of the experiment design, all things also has been used to get more clearer insight and how the can be contribute to the theory, contribute to the context, and contribute to the overall body of knowledge. So these things also inspired. And since I come from very also social science background, or you can say computational social science background, so uh, that kind of mindset was prepared me to get into this. So ML also there and social science qualitative methods also has been used. These are the major reason for methodology wise also.
So, generally, say, since I studied in NIT, we have a coursework for only for 1 year. So we have probably 4 subjects. But whereas in IIM, the culture itself is different. I mean, the working style and the
Yeah.
reading, everything is different. So generally, the coursework is for 2 years. So what all general subjects do you cover? Is it all subjects, and then you come to a conclusion like what is your research topic, or you decide in the first year what your research topic is? How does it work?
So in IIM, so the coursework is much more rigorous. So I would say that I also had IIT experience as a MS student. So at IIM, the coursework is difference is huge. So for the PhD, I'm saying for the MS, IIT coursework is huge also. It's so I have done more than around 76 credits in IIT I have did, more than 76 credit courses and apart from audit courses also there. But here at IIM Trichy, there is a combination of MBA courses as well as the PhD level courses. So you have to be so there is a area will curate you which kind of courses you have to take from the PGP program and from the PhD program. So first 2 years, or you can say these initial 5 months, 5 terms, you have to do the coursework, which is very much rigorous. It demands your sincerity, your thought process, and it also determine how punctual you are, how serious you are, because you had 3 hours class for one PhD course. So 3 hour class is huge. So between there will be 15 minutes break, but to continue 3 hours is a very uh, for if you're coming from like 1 hour or 45 minutes or 50 minutes classroom. So that is very hard to sit, and because you to focus also. And that's PhD is a program it requires also. So the coursework here is around depends upon the area, but mostly the 5 terms. 5 term each term have 4 courses, 4 to 5 courses. And you can take audit courses also. So one course will be 3 credits. So you can calculate how many credits will be there.
Okay. So
Ah,
have
yeah,
you
second,
decided?
sorry, the second question I was not able to, I just want to answer. So the topic and all will be decided not initially when you join, it will evolve over the period of time. And mostly there is a lot of things. So you have to do some independent study here. So those independent studies apart from your coursework, there is a specific 3 credit summer term project. And about also there is something called research-based independent study that is inspired from IIM Bangalore, which is also you have to take a topic and work with one of the faculty member and do that independent study. And if you think that okay, that I want to extend for my final thesis, or if something comes from the coursework also, so it will evolve over the time. And by the end of the coursework, not necessarily you can decide, but yes, most of the time people are getting clear, okay, this is the area I want to work on.
Okay. So have you decided your research topic, which is your current area of research?
Yeah, no, so I'm still yeah, finalizing what could be the research topic. I have 2, 3 areas in my mind which I worked in these coursework, but there will be a time after qualifying your comprehensive exam. So because if somebody will not able to qualify the exam, he have one more chance, and if he will not the second time also is not able to qualify, then uh, that is there is other policies are there. So so after that we will finally finalize with the committee of research committee and advisory committee with the alignment of the committee. So that is the procedure.
Again, I have a question, but I know
Yeah.
this question is very hard because I also faced it. So, what is
Yeah.
generally the stipulated time for a researcher to complete an IIMs?
See, generally, if you look into the curriculum of IM, so see, first 2 years there will be nothing. So it will not, you cannot start your thesis. That is true. People start with some of the initial ideation process. Some, okay, this is the topic I want to work on. So initial 2 years will be complete coursework. So after 2 years, there will be general ideal processes of 2 years more. So it will be 4 years. So for thesis work, you have only 2 years ideal time, but it can be extended to 6 months. And if it is required, then it will extend it to 6 months more. So it will become 3 years. So 2 years of coursework, 3 years of your final thesis. So this is the time. But if some topic is more, it demands more time, more effort, then it can also extend apart more than 5 years also. But general this is the time. But initial 2 years I don't think so is can be counted for the PhD, because you are not a candidate, you are just a student who are doing coursework. After you qualify the exams, comprehensive exam and viva oral, then you will finalize the advisory committee, then you work on your PhD thesis.
So, what monetary benefits, allowances like stipend do you get in generally in IIMs? So, for example, they sponsor you for a conference. So, how many conferences do they sponsor you? What are the other benefits that you generally get in an IIM whole as an IIM institution?
Yeah, so each IM have their own stipend amount, whatever the could be credited to the students. So I'm Tirsi also have some specific amount, so it will be there in the website. And so apart from the stipend, which is given per month, there is a contingency grant which can be a student can take based on some research expenses, like some buying a software or buying some hardware, if let's say related activity, something. Apart from contingency, you can also there is also a procedure of, as you said, the research grant, which is fieldwork you want to go, that is also there. And as you said, this conferences, so there's a amount which is has been allocated for the national conference and some amount for the international conference. So there is a which you can, if it's up to you, if you how you are going, which country you are going. So it depends upon the country where it is going. So for both national and international, there's some amount is there, which is, and for the fees and all, so fee is fully funded. So there is no fees. It is, I think, there's no, you don't have to pay fees. That is uh, I think that is not waived off. And second is the for the food and other things, like there are some other facilities. Somebody want to avail the sport facilities, swimming pool facilities, or the mess food. That you have to pay based on the vendor requirements and all this stuff.
So, I wanted to ask you, right now we are in the race to publish papers, so it's quite mandatory. It's generally it's two. So I think NITs also have IITs. I mean, all institutes right now, from starting from Scopus,
Mm.
Web of Science, we talk about ABDC. So how does it is in an IIM program? How many papers do we need actually to publish and to publish especially high quality papers? I think that's very important. So do you have any criteria for it?
Yeah, so if you look into the manual of PhD manual of Trichy, there is a specific criteria for to get getting a degree and get passed with the award of PhD. So in ABTC, either you have one A paper that is the sufficient for getting a degree, and if you don't have A, then there is a two B or two C or two Scopus is also in the criteria. So these are the criteria. However, in some other institute, if you look into who are they also IIMs, they don't have the SS passing criteria as per my information. But yeah, this is the IIM Trichy and procedure. This is the manual, and generally it is expected from the students to publish in ABDC listed journals. But again, this ABDC list also getting revised each and every. I think it is revised recently, so some quarter of time it is revised, and so it's not necessarily whatever channel you publish right now, which an ABDC it may be removed or someone else can be added. So the major idea is that how you contribute to the body of knowledge with top tier journal which have good readers, and which is also in the particular area it has a good reputation.
So one of your recent work, which discusses that navigating complexity in information
Hmm.
system. So especially
Yeah.
in the area of AI, artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
So what is the actual novelty and originality that you find in your paper, and that the future researchers can also follow or
Yeah.
can understand from your paper? What
Yeah.
are your thoughts about it?
True, true. So the work you're mentioning, it is my work, which is I'm the single author for that. So the inspiration of this is not a research paper, it's a book chapter. It's published in the IGI Global, published by IGI Global. This is the edited book. So this book chapter, so my idea was like, so I was coming from the computational social science background, which admires the both side, like as well as the algorithmic side and also the social side. So if you look into the any social phenomena, if you wanted to model it or something, you wanted to do it with it, then you need apart from the just for the statistical analysis, how algorithms are functioning and how algorithmically or machine learning models are much more capable to solve some of the problems. So what is happening, what I have seen here in the information systems area during my PhD, there is people are using some of the ML based techniques, but it mostly the initial literature was mostly statistical and mostly driven by econometric techniques. And if you talk about quant, or some people who are doing qualitative, they are completely qualitative. So computational social science allows you how you can manage both of them, and then you can get the a very coherent insight. So meta inferences can be generated if you marry both qualitative, quantitative, and some algorithmic and machine learning based models. So that is the main paper about. Because now these in artificial intelligence, these researchers are struggling. They are not. They are just using AI, but sometimes they also become confused. A lot of time get wasted. So that papers, that's these book chapters talk about that, how you can navigate this complexity.
What research advice would you generally give to a student who is coming from a social science background, since you said,
Hmm.
and then moving suddenly to AI, machine learning, data science? So, what all did you equip yourself? Did you read any books, or did you get any some guidance from any faculty members before joining here, or did you attend any workshops? So, how did you yourself like have a transition from this domain to another domain, and what would be the piece of advice that you would give to research scholars, young research scholars?
Okay, okay. That's very, I think that is a question which is very much important and it's supposed to be answered. So I'll tell you like what I did. So my mathematics, I have mathematics and physics and chemistry background till my 12th. So I also given my JEE joint entrance examination, which is conducted by IITs. JEE also given JEE mains and JEE advanced. Uh, but I couldn't get qualified for the IITs for the BTech programs. But I was but I got some of the national institutes uh, which is taking the admission based on the JEE main score. So I also some of the institute also offered me for engineering as a bachelor's degree BTech program. But I don't know, somehow I was always thinking to do something related to the social science domain. Engineering was not my priority to, I mean, it was a lot of, it's not, I'm not saying that it's my parents want me to do engineering, but like parents were saying whatever you wanted to do you can do. But again, there was a, since you coming from PCM background, you have the science as a field and mathematics is there, then it's generally people go with the engineering degree. So I wanted to do something related to social science. So that is why I went into the this bachelor's program, Bachelor of Arts in Political Science. But my analytical mind was always active. Even I was looking for the social science, so I was not always mugging up the things. I was always looking for else is there. How can I connect political science to the law? So where I was doing my bachelor, there was also LLB program used to there. So what I was doing, I used sometimes I go to the library and see, okay, this is the constitutional law book, and this is the political science book. Okay, how can I connect? Okay, if this is the constitution, this is the constitution article, what if this article has been amended, and how many people, if any honorable supreme court order was there related to this article, if something happened. So I was always doing like this. I keep a lot of booking books in my home from library and used to do that. What happened is that, so since I come from this science background, so I always have in mind, okay, why not we can integrate the this social science with some of the computational techniques, so that I can learn also something, and later on I can add something which might based on my understanding. So there was a very good program by IIT Jodhpur that's called MSc in Digital Humanities, which which very much similar with the digital humanities. You can look into, from the program name also you can understand digital humanities. So it inspired me a lot. So at the same time I applied for the MSc in digital humanities and MS in computational social science. So that time when I applied for the computational social science program, it was the first time. So it has been brought by from some of the US universities in IIT Jodhpur. So we are the first students in India. We are the first batch. There is no program is running in India in computational science. Now some of the state universities and central university have started this program, computational social science. So luckily I got admitted in both of the programs, MSc in digital humanities and Master of Science in computational social science. So what institute does, IIT Jodhpur, like there is some faculty which runs the master classes, like some kind of webinars what you're going to learn in this program. So I attended both of the master classes, digital humanities as well as the computational social science. So there was also criteria. So people who are from political science, people who are from econometrics or economics or maths or statistics background, only they are eligible to apply for the computational social science. However, for the digital humanities, anyone can apply. I think what some criteria are there, but not stream related criteria. So they also said political science students can also apply. Then I've seen, okay, they are doing some kind of political science, like some area like how elections are manipulating, some sentiment analysis, how natural language processing, like in social media, how it influence the election results, and even some of the US elections, they also said some kind of sentiment analysis, some budget speech analysis, how that can manipulate the budget, and how the whole monetary policy used to go, all these things. So that was more interesting. And I mean, this is one of the instances. The other things also there that inspired me to join computational social science. And I'm very lucky and I'm very grateful for the School of Liberal Arts and School of AI and Data Science and Center for Mathematical and Computational Economics at IIT Jodhpur. They have planned the program in a way that the student can not only get to idea about from the social science, it's a mingle of from the all the interdisciplinary areas and centers from IIT. So that is very much good. And I believe that if somebody who wants to do the same, coming from social science to the this technology side or something, so it is not very much rule based. Okay, somebody who is a data scientist, they're playing with data. If you really wanted to contribute to the academia or body of knowledge or something which is not just related to the some technical part like some industrial things, so then you have to some insight you have to get from there, some literature, what literature is saying, what work has been done. So rather than just technical things, you have to also learn from literature and some books, whatever people have, some prominent researcher have done. So if you leverage both of the things, technology side and this literature and whatever the theory and all these things, so model as well as theory both are important. So I think that leverage I got at IIT, which again translated in my final information systems research. uh, so this is the way. So people have to learn from literature and also simultaneously they acknowledge the fact that they also need some technical competencies like learning Python and learning some of the tools with some also some there should be some meaning, not just randomly learning Python, something getting output is not really worth it. So that is also required.
So since you said your Python and all that, what softwares do you have knowledge with, and what softwares are you planning to learn in the upcoming years, probably? Because since research, you can never say, okay, this is the software I'm going to currently use, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
true.
with the research, as the journey goes, you decide what all you
Hmm.
can learn. So do you have any plans to learn softwares, the or something that is especially very crucial that you learn for your research? So for example, I could say like I want to do something called general equilibrium analysis in my research. So they told me
Hmm.
there is a software for it, like computable general equilibrium, if I remember. And there is a way how you should learn. So is there any future that you want to learn this particular software, and what all software do you generally have knowledge with? I started only with SPSS, then
Hmm.
slowly I changed to AViews and Stata and things like that. So what do you think, according to you, would actually fit in? Which software do you think would especially help you to learn in your research process?
I would say if the students or some aspiring researchers or some aspiring social scientists who wanted to learn some software, so there are two categories. One is the code-based softwares and other is non-code-based softwares. So if you are not very much good with the coding part, see now these days LLMs can produce a lot of codes that is there. But sometimes what if you don't have the knowledge now, that is a problem. If they will produce something, some output you will get definitely, even if the error will come, it will sort it out. But you don't know what is happening, what kind of code it is, what kind of output you are getting. You because you have no understanding about the code. LLMs can give you. So I would advise that there is some other apart from code, with some other software. So I learned an IIT Rapid Miner was there. So I was not very well versed with the coding because I do not have that engineering degree. I learned coding on my own from some open source platforms. So what I did is that little rapid miner software is there. There's a NIME is there, an Orange is there. So these softwares are there, which is non-code based. So in in IMTC also, some of the faculty members are also utilizing these softwares. So to for the students who are not coming from the coding background, so that people can learn. And as you said, SPS is one of them. So I also used R, I used Python, rapid miner, NIME, and SPSS I did not use at IIT. I used here at Trichy because I do some of the projects with the SPSS. I used smart pls. I also some of for the partial least square analysis. And also from there is at Jodhpur, I was using Jeffy for data visualization, and Jeffy is a very good software. And there's a lot of software which is talking about like Tableau, Power BI. That is also I've used over there. But here in Tachi, in the coursework, I did not use much software as I do use in Jodhpur because that was more computational oriented program. Here it is somehow more like how you can contribute to the literature. That is the main goal. So here certificates are there. Like for qualitative analysis, I learned the NVO and MaxQD I have used here for the qualitative analysis. For the quant SPSS, R, Python, Stata, these softwares I used here at Atichip. There could be other other softwares also there. For example, as you said, A-views are there, and some of
Data.
the small code software. So these are the major thing, but it depends upon which kind of work you are doing. That is also important. So then you can navigate with software. It's worth it to explore.
So again, I have a very tricky question for you. What are these stumbling blocks or hurdles that you've come across over the past 3 years? And how did you overcome it?
For PhD and PhD.
Yeah. I know it's not easy. That's why I asked you this question.
Yeah, that is good question. And see, so I mean, again, every day is a new beginning and very new hurdle for you. So each day is filled with a lot of hurdles and filled with a lot of new beginning and inspiration also. So I mean, basic hurdle is like apart from very hygienic hurdles, like these basic things, you are away from home, then food and everything, that is a basic thing. And if you're coming from very different cultures, so I come from North India, so living at Trichy, so first thing is the cultural shock you will get. You will never understand the language. You will never understand the culture of other region. Apart from it, there is also problem of climate. So here it's more humid. You cannot survive without AC if you have the habit of the living in AC and sleeping. So in Jodhpur, there is 24 into 7 AC runs in the hostel rooms. You have the remote control, you can turn on AC anytime in the room. But in Trichy, there is a different system. That is policies there. So I cannot tell here, so people can go to the website and see. That is there, and that climate change and cultural and language, these are the major barrier. In academics, I think institute is always there for you to provide much more facilities in terms of databases, softwares, and faculty support. Everything is there, but again, having all such things, you always find some of the hurdles or the problems which can be has to be answered and has to be sorted out. Then you have to plan accordingly. For example, how you manage to do your coursework. Some of the times there's a continuation of exams, continuation of assignments, term project, submissions, all such things comes together. Also, like if your health is not good, so sometimes you become sick. So that also happened with me. I can remember there is a Diwali of 2024. I had my convocation from IIT. I returned from IIT to Jodhpur to Trichy. So one of the major hurdle is Trichy connectivity. So Trichy has a very poor connectivity with top cities. It can only reach if you go for Bangalore or Chennai or Delhi or I think Hyderabad. Apart from it, there's no direct flight. So if you wanted to go Lucknow, you want to do Kanpur, you want to go like Jodhpur or something, there's always a layover of 4 or 5 hours. So you have to struggle with it. Whole day will be wasted. And if you're tired, not sleep in the night, just because of you. And the problem is that if you have early morning flight, it is always you cannot sleep a sound sleep. So the whole night will be wasted, previous night, and the whole day will be wasted. You will become so tired. So that is a very big hurdle if somebody is coming from remote places or very North Indian or something. That is a major connectivity issue is there. So these things are there, and so I got sick from coming from Jodhpur to Trichy because I did not sleep. My convocation was there, so I was on bed on the Diwali day. People are doing crackers and all the thing. I was lying on the and I was really regretting like this is the place how what I'm doing. So some these things always comes. I mean, and these are the very hygienic things. And I mean, sometimes you not understand some of the things, some of the concepts, some mathematical problems. Then you have to take time and do practice. All these things is important.
Okay, so last question. What are so obviously every PhD journey is not easy, it's including mine,
Yeah.
and different people, and I mean, different researchers are different. But there
Mm.
is something like, I can say, not every day is also good. Few days are bad, few days are good,
Yeah.
and obviously our mood swings, the way sometimes we get depressed, and all that. It's very common, as you just said now, especially when your health is
Mm.
not supportive. But that will
Yes,
happen
yes.
on one side. Still, we have to, our journey is there. We have to keep on
Mm.
moving. So, what are the takeaways from whatever you have learned so far? And I'm pretty sure IIM Trichy has been very supportive in that way, an academic
Yes.
institution like this. So, what
Mm.
are the takeaways that you've learned from very small failure, I could say, a small dot in
Uh,
ocean like that? So, what are
Yeah,
the
yeah.
takeaways? Yeah.
So what I would say that from so this kind of adaptation resilience you have to build from after when you're done with the schooling. So in the so till the schooling everything is fine. Okay, this is that's there. When you go with the bachelor's program, or for me when I got into the IIT, so from day one of the IIT, I have to adopt with the system. So IIT is also not easy. So you have to compete with some best minds of the country. You have to compete with the best questions also with some of the good uh, examinations, and lot of examination used to happen. So my time there is a three exams: minor one, minor two, and major. Three exams in one semester, and I had 8 to 9 courses. So you think about, and each semester I have 4 months, not 6 months. So it will start by August, and it will end up by November. So August, September, October, November. December is the buffer, and it will again start by January. So December is a holiday. So in 4 months, you have to give three exam for one course, and you have 8 to 9 courses. Apart from it, you also have to give like assignments, you have to do projects, you have a lot of meetings, some presentations. These things are there. So I got adapted when I was in IIT, and what I personally feel that IIM Tirchi for the PhD is little easy in terms of coursework from compared to IIT, because it could be also that I have been adapted to the system. It could be also that uh, I might have some bigger, like I already had some these kind of experiences. That could be another option. So I would say that people should adapt with the system. And my professor used to tell me, so she was in IIT, she completed her PhD from University of Bonn, Germany. So she used to always tell that when she gone to Germany, so she also have to adopt with the German ecosystem. And she said that Aniket, since you are coming from this is the background and coming from from our IIT, and how you to maintain attendance, and each day have 5 to 6 classes in IIT. So and there is not continuous classes like 2 hours gaps whole from morning 8 to till 6 p.m. in the night. So that is the whole day. In between you have to lunch, everything. So that system, I mean, the IT system basically made me so comfortable so that here I did not feel so much big hurdle, but still, I think I am the cheese much better and much supportive in terms of IT, because here don't have like classes. You have one doctor class in one day, or sometimes two, or one PGP class. This is the system. So the people should adapt with the system. They to adjust the timeline. Now these days, social media is big hurdle. If you are investing so much time to watching reels or something, or watching videos.
And so you were posting about the what IIM Trichy offers, how your journey was. So, what is the most
Mm.
recommended book that you would suggest researchers that has inspired you as well? It can be any book. It may necessarily need to be from your domain. It can be anything that you've inspired
Uh,
that it has inspired you totally.
Okay, okay. So there is a I would say that there is a book by it is very old book. I would say that it is by the philosophical essay by the concerning human understanding. It's just so it is written by uh for like how the by David Hume. So it is talking about how humans should behave, and it's more philosophical book. So people, if you have a good knowledge, then David Hume will say about how inquiring concerning to human understanding. So, and there are other like book about it's a treatise of human nature that is very good. And I would suggest there is a apart from the book, these are the basic book. If you go very higher level, that I would suggest to read. But I would say that I have also read some of the I'm not putting them in the self-help category, but I would say a lot of people are using Atomic Habits. Some of the people are read all those books, but I'm not very much fan of Atomic Habits and some other books. I mean, they are very good books, but I do not read. I will read if I get time. But some, if you read, if you are an academic, if you wanted to be an academic, then I would suggest to read these David Hume or some of the authors which are very prominent, like Karl Marx, or I would say Karl Marx, a little bit very much very extreme, but there's also like Noam Chomsky. These books are very important, and for I personally say there is some YouTube channels also very important. So there is a person called, I don't know what is his name. I'm not forget. There is a channel called Human Behavior. So this person is doing his MS or something from either from some European country. So he also say a lot of philosophical things and some psychological things, how it is connected to human behavior. So if you have that kind of knowledge, then I believe that, and if you are okay with your hygienic thing like technical part or reading part, then it is good. There's one so people can read these books, and one book I'm still reading that is I'm not remember the author name, but I'll bring you over there. But it's something related to some philosophy only. So so it is about motivation. Something was that. So people can also read about Shwetab Gangawar. So it is about the rudest book ever that I also read. So all things are important, but I would suggest some academic book people can read who have written by some academic like David Hume, which is the very highest level. But also now these days some people are writing about. I was planning to do some commentary, some kind of book review on these things, but I'm not getting time. But these are the things which, but this Sartab Gangwar and human behavior, these channels are really important, which connect psychology to the real life events. That is really good and appreciate. I also appreciate sometimes.
Okay, since you were telling you are in the third year, you won't have the, of course, time and energy also, I feel, because you're drained. You're somewhere in the middle, you are drained. What are your future plans?
Future plans. So right now, see, I don't I never started with this idea that this is where I wanted to be. I mean, there is again have some initial plans, but future plan. I mean, first is the future plan is that always required to complete the PhD first, and second, like I mean, again, so if being an academic, I always want to contribute to the body of knowledge by research and teaching. And if I'm getting a chance, some like services, how can I offer my learning to the either industry, or how can I support back to the industry, and if some societal organizations. That is my main goal. So it can be done by many roles or something. People, some go for the faculty position, some people go for research position in different verticals. So that are the major goals I'm planning to think of.
Okay. So it was actually a great, we had a great chit chat with you, especially a conversation where you spoke about the academic struggles and how actually the drive to have, to push yourself every day to do like literature review. I know I've been through the journey, it's not easy.
Yeah, that is,
And especially
yeah.
cultural difference because you're coming from north, you're moving to south, but still you chose
Mhm.
IIM Trichy. So you shared us a lot of experiences. So it's a really wonderful journey, and we wish you all the best in your future
Thank you so
endeavors,
much.
especially being a great academician and doing a high quality research papers. So thank you so much for your valuable time and energy, as I said earlier. So would you like to share any thoughts about our channel?
I would say that yeah. So this is a very good this is a very good platform for the, because sometimes you cannot connect to the people who really have expertise, and sometimes you, so to reach out to, I was, when I was looking for such kind of videos, very, so when I was going in IIT, there's a very limited videos are available. Let's say somebody who is watching this video from very remote location, or who have not get adapted with the system how it should be, and how I can do research. So I was looking for those videos, and very you can count on fingers such kind of videos are available. So I think that this kind of platform will definitely inspire those aspirants who are
Yeah.
looking for this kind of thing. And I think I know that this is a very niche criteria, because a lot of people go for entertainment and all these things, but for those people who are really looking for this kind of content, and I would say that this is a really benefit, and I also best wishes for your channel, and I would say that one day you will be a one-to-one conversation with the camera, and that is also can happen apart from this video conferencing. And I
Sure.
wish you all the best for that thing also. And I believe that this is definitely at some kind of value to the lives of people who really wanted to do some these things.
And thank you so much for these words. So I hope you all like this video. Please like and share.